Hey everyone, it's Jamie from BestNerdLife and welcome to another episode. First up, I want to say thanks to Gravity Game Arise for providing a free copy of this game to review. Grid Force, Mask of the Goddess is a tactical bullet RPG that centres around Donna, the newly reborn protagonist. Along with her friends, she must travel across the all-female cities of Gora to reclaim several masks that have been stolen. Now, as a straight white dude, I'm probably not the target audience for this game, but that's fine. I don't really expect every game to be catered to me specifically, because that's just silly. Grid Force also has an LGBTQ slant to it, something I don't directly connect with, but I think it's great to see more diversity in my games. I do feel slightly out of my depth talking about that subject, so I will leave that discussion to more relevant and worthy reviewers. I can confidently say that there is also a focus on inclusivity. The first additional party member that the player meets is a fawn adjacent character in a hovering wheelchair named Pam. And rather than creating one-note caricatures, focusing on making something like this specific detail central to the character, each one is pretty fleshed out. The action is fast, frenetic and pretty tough, just as one would expect from a bullet hell shooter. Input is also responsive and fluid, and moving rapidly around the grid-based arenas is very fun. Each character has a regular and more powerful charged attack to combat enemies, and they also have a specific element attached to them, which follows a kind of rock, paper, scissors type rule set, although with slightly more elements. This means one ally may be stronger or weaker against a certain foe, and finding out each type matchup goes a long way to achieving victory. Confusingly, each element also represents a character attribute. For example, the earth element is connected to the health attributes. Likewise, fire is associated with a character's power stat. Fragments of these elements can be collected from fallen enemies to upgrade each stat in a way to develop each member of the squad. Only one character can be used at one time, and only a certain number of allies can be included in the squad at once. Those in use can be swapped around any time during battle though. I did feel like the gameplay was more geared towards using a controller over a keyboard, but that might just be due to my personal preferences. I played most of it using the buttons on my Steam Deck, with the gameplay you are seeing in this review recorded on my desktop. The keyboard button layout also meant it was fairly easy to play one-handed, which I thought was a nice touch. I did note that tutorial sections included controller button prompts, even when not using one at the time. Aesthetically, this game is very well realised. Bright neon colours influenced by 70s posters create a stark art style. Distinctive and diverse character designs keep everyone visually interesting as well. There's also some fantastic heavy and pulsating 90s pop heavy music to enjoy, experienced best with decent headphones. Aside from extensive sections of text heavy dialogue, certain story beats are also accompanied by expertly drawn comic book panels. These add a much needed respite from many of the more wordy sections and help create a charming feel to the game. Particular highlights for me include the achievement names and the logo design. Each achievement name is taken from popular songs from the 90s, which held a certain amount of nostalgia for me. I remember jamming along back in the day to such classics as Livin' La Vida Loca, Wonderwall and Mbop. Although I don't really think many of them were related too much to the achievements in that many ways, but it is a fun little detail. I do adore the logo though. It has a very strong sense of identity and is animated to a very satisfying degree. It looks great contrasting with the black background too. Although it played perfectly fine on my Steam Deck, there was some issues regarding syncing between the deck and the PC. I basically have two separate save games on each platform, which isn't great, but you know, as the game is currently related unknown regarding Steam Deck compatibility, this isn't really an issue for me. I'm sure it will be amended in future. Hopefully at least. I don't have many other complaints aside from the occasional difficulty spikes. Never a big fan of those. With several worlds on offer, there's plenty of gameplay to be had, and the multiple endings support replayability. Overall, Grid Force, Mask of the Goddess, much like its logo, has a very strong sense of identity. Visual flair combined with characters and stories all of its own, this game is one I rather enjoyed. It's something different to sink my teeth into, and like many indie games before it, it's something fresh to be experienced. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then like, comment, subscribe, do all that social media goodness, and as always, keep living that best nerd life.